Welcome to our tiny house. We named it True North Tiny, and this is our kitchen. When we started designing the tiny house, our focus really was around dining room table and having seating for 5. Most tiny houses don't have seating for that many people, and that was really important to us since we do spend all of our meals together for the most part. So we kind of started with the dining room, which then turned into this galley style kitchen on the other side, and we just started picking features that we knew were important to us. So the kitchen works really well as long as everyone puts their dishes in the dishwasher, but that was a problem we had in the big house too with 3 kids. We actually picked this Ruvati sink. It's their 24-inch one because we had put it in a kitchen remodel in our big house, and it was much bigger, and we really liked it. It has a lot of different features. It's like a drop-in cutting board and a sink strainer, so we don't have to have a garbage disposal. So we really liked that sink, and it was affordable, so we figured we would just do that again. And a big sink was important to us because that is where we typically bathe our toddler. So it's multi-purpose. On the right-hand side of the stove, it was just going to be the fridge, and then at the last minute kind of switched things up and decided to put this here. And I'm really happy we did because we do use this space quite a bit, especially when we have 2 things on the stove at the same time. We use both sides, so it's really nice. And our proximity for the trash can to the stovetop has been really helpful too. That's when we make eggs in the morning. We had looked at a couple different dishwasher options. Some of our friends with kids have the half dishwasher in their tiny house or an 18-inch dishwasher. And when I took the kids appliance shopping, I showed them the 18-inch dishwasher, and they decided that that was not big enough. They hate doing dishes as much as I do. They're like, we're gonna have to run it 3 times a day, Mom. Can you just get a big one? I was like, well, I'm gonna have to make space. Like, that's 6 more inches we have to give up. Our silverware drawer has to be really tiny so we can have a bigger dishwasher. But they felt like it was worth it, and so far I think they were right. We picked our upper cabinets specifically because they open horizontally. We knew that we wanted to have our microwave and stuff hidden behind everything, and that it would just be easier for the kids to be able to reach. That was part of everything we did in the kitchen, was based on the children so that they can be more self-sufficient. So the horizontal cabinets were a big piece of that. And these are from IKEA, and we picked they have lots of different cabinet door options, but we really liked the blue and incorporated the blue in the house a little bit, so it was nice to have them. I will say these are not the easiest cabinet doors to keep clean. Still not sure how I feel about that. Everything else in the house is pretty easy to maintain. These cabinet doors, not so much. But they're really pretty, so we deal with it. We really like our dining room table. We had seen this in another house on a smaller scale and decided to scale it up. But this is just a piece of butcher-block countertop from IKEA. We cut it in half to make it easier for the kids to use 1/2 at a time. We don't always have both sides up. Sometimes it's just one. And then the brackets we got off of Amazon, and they're really easy, as I say that, really easy to fold down and out of the way. The window kind of came with the dining room table. We knew that we wanted to have the table here, and we're trying to figure out the best way to have windows behind it and kind of fit the space. And I had seen outdoor profiles of a couple of them. There were a few tiny houses that I really liked that had big windows. I don't really remember, honestly. We just picked it and knew we didn't care if it opened. We really wanted to have a nice view, and depending on where we park, that view is better than others. But that's what the blinds are for. So this is a GE refrigerator. It's 24 inches wide, and it's a counter depth fridge, so it doesn't stick out as far as some of the big household refrigerators, which was really important to us regardless of the width of the fridge. We got this from Home Depot, and they delivered it. And part of the reason why we picked it was because of the cubic square footage. At our rental house, we had a full size side-by-side, and when I started measuring what shelves and how much space we actually used and did the math, it came out to be the exact cubic footage of this fridge. So we knew that we could go from a 30 or 36 inch down to a 24 because of how this fridge is laid out. So it doesn't have any filtered water or any ice maker, which really allows for more food storage. So we still go to Costco. We have our CSA. We go to the farmer's market, and it fits everything that we need. I usually shop once a week, so we don't have to go too often. And then the freezer is actually one of my favorite parts because I buy a lot of meat in bulk at Costco and then divide and freeze, and this freezer still allows me to do that. We have not had to change any of our grocery shopping habits because of this refrigerator.